object, 3D object also we learn. But if we have a two object, okay, if I give you two square and you need to show that they are same or not. Congruency means are they equal or not? If two objects are of same size, same shape, then they are called the congruency object. Means they are called the congruent object. So what is the congruence? The word congruent means same shape and size. That is equal in every respect. If two objects are exactly same to each other, then they are called the congruent object. For example, 10 rupees note. If you take 10 rupees, two notes of 10 rupees, then they are congruent. Why? Because they are exactly same to each other. If you see the stamp that is on a letter, so that stamp is also congruent. Why? Because its shape and size will be same. So these objects are called the congruent object. If you take the biscuit in any one packet, okay, so they are also congruent because shape and size of that biscuit of one packet will be same. So if two figures have exactly same shape and size, they are said to be congruent. If size and shape are same, then they are called congruent object. If you take two boxes of chalk, then they are also called congruent. Chalk in every box, it is also congruent. Ball of same size, they are called congruent because they are same. Two plane figures are congruent if each when superposed on other cover exactly. If I give you one figure, like let's take the square, and if I have one more square, if I take trace copy of this one, or if I cut this square and superpose on second square, and if it covers completely each other, then these two squares are called congruent object. If I have another thing like this, let's say this is the plane figure F1 and F2. If I cut F1 and superpose on F2, and if F1 and F2 cover each other completely, then they are called the congruent objects. So this can be written as F1 is congruent to F2. This is the symbol of represent correspondence. So you can write F1 is congruent to F2. Clear? As we compare the two plane figure, we can also compare the line, we can also compare the angles, also we can compare any another shape. Okay, we can find the congruency in square, find the congruency in rectangle. What we need to do? If two figures are exactly same size and shape, then they are called the congruent object. So let's learn about the congruence of line segment. So congruence of line segment, it means if we have two line segments AB and CD, okay, are they congruent or not? For that, what you need to do? You need to take the trace copy of one line segment and superpose on another line segment. If they covers each other exactly, then they are called the congruent line segment. So here we have AB and CD. Now in order to check whether this congruent or not, we take a trace copy of CD. You can take the trace copy of AB and try to superpose if on line segment AB, if CD is completely superposed on AB, then it covers exactly, then it is a congruent object. If I give you a stick, then how can you compare that they are same or not? You compare both sticks by placing each other on a side. Okay, now if they are of same length, then they are congruent sticks. So same we can compare for line segment. If one line segment superpose on another and if they cover each other completely, then they are called the congruent line segment. So we can draw. Now if we have line segment AB and this have line segment C, and if they are congruent, if line segment AB and line segment CD are congruent, write if AB and CD are congruent, then the length are also same. And if the length are same, then you can say they are congruent objects. So these two statements you need to remember. If two lines are congruent, then they are of equal length, and if two line segments are of equal length, then they are called congruent lines. It is not necessary that both are horizontal. If the CD is vertical, then they are also called the congruent object, because the lines, measurements of lines are same. So that's why these two lines are called congruent lines. So if two line segments are congruent if they have same length, that we have seen in previous examples. So AB is congruent to C. You can write this is the symbol indicate is congruent to. Clear? Now congruence of two angles. How can we say that two angles are congruent? If we take trace copy of first angle and if we superpose it on another angle and if they covers each other completely, then they are called the congruent angle. So if we have two angles like this is angle X, Y, Z, it is of 40 degrees, so angle Y is of 40, and we have this angle A, B and C, it is of 40. And if we take the trace copy of XYZ and place it on ABC, and if they cover completely, then they are called the congruent. So here you can see this angle Y is 40 degree and this angle B is 40 degree, and rays are extended in the direction. So if we consider this ray, that it is extended in this direction. So this length and this length are of equal. They are representing the same direction. That's why here we can write angle XYZ is congruent to angle ABC. The reason is what? Angle Y is equal to 40 degree and angle B is equal to 40. So that's why they are called the congruent object. Okay. If we have one more figure, 30 degree and this is of 40 degree. Let's consider this as a XYZ and this one as a PQ. Now, are these two figures congruent? No, because angle Q is of 30 degree and angle Y is of 40 degree. So here you can write angle Q is 30 degree and angle Y is equal to 40 degree. So angles are not same, so they are not congruent. So you can write angle PQR and angle XYZ are not congruent. Okay. This angle can also be in another direction. Then again they are called the congruent angles because the measurement of angles are same. Okay. Now after the congruence of angle, we learn about the congruence of triangle. Now what is congruence of triangle? If we have a two triangle, let's consider figure. Triangle XYZ and triangle PQR. And if we take the trace copy of triangle XYZ and superpose on triangle PQR, and if they cover each other completely, then they are called the congruent triangle. So let's consider this triangle. We have triangle X, Y, Z, and here we have PQ. Okay. Now let's say this is of 5 cm and this length is of 5 cm. Now consider this as a 3 centimeter and this length is 3 centimeter. This is 6 centimeter and it is of 6 centimeter. And if we take that this line is equal to PQ, means YZ is equal to PR, that is of 3 centimeter. Because this length and this length is same. Now consider XZ. So here XZ is equal to which line segment? PQ. That is of 5 centimeter. And we consider XZ is equal to RQ. That is of 6 centimeter. So here you can see the 3 lines are same, and if 3 lines are same and 3 angles are same, then if we take the trace copy of XYZ and try to superpose on PQR, then they will cover each other completely. Why? Because the length of line segments are same. So these two triangles are called congruent triangle. So you can write triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ. Why? Because they covers each other completely. Reason is what? The length of 3 sides of both triangle are same. Here this line is superposed on this line. Here XZ superposed on PQ, and here XY superposed on IQ. That's why these two triangles are called congruent triangle. Now, if two triangles are congruent, then there is one important term, that is a correspondence. Okay, so let's consider this congruent part. So here YZ is congruent to PR. Here we have two correspondence. Line segment YZ is correspond to line segment PR, and line segment XZ is correspond to line segment PQ. Okay, so now you can see here Z is correspond to P. So we can write Z is falls on P. Now let's consider second correspondence. XZ is correspond to PQ and XY is correspond to I. Now here you can see X and here Q. So X will fall on Q and remaining Y falls on I. So if we want to write the correspondence, then we can write triangle PQI is correspond. P is correspond to Z, so we need to write first letter Z. Then Q, that is correspond to X, so we need to write X here, and R is correspond to Y, so that is Y. So if we want to write the correspondence of two triangles from the line segment, then you can write triangle PQR is correspond to triangle ZXY. Why? Because P falls on Z, Q falls on X, and R falls on Y. Now here you need to write the correspondence. So there are three types of correspondence: correspondence of lines, correspondence of points, and correspondence of angles. Lines, angles, and you can say vertices. So there are three kind of correspondence in triangle. Which line falls on which line of second triangle, which angle falls on which angle of second triangle, and same vertices. So vertices we can find out from the given line segment. So if here you can say the Z and Z are common in two lines. So here P is common. So Z will fall on P. If we take the two correspondence lines, for example XZ and XY. So here X is common. So here Q is common. It means X falls on Q and remaining Y falls on R. So if we want to write the correspondence, PQR is correspond to Z, X and Y. Now let's take some more figure to understand the correspondence. So here I take the two triangle ABC and triangle PRQ. Okay, it means you can see in a figure that AB is equal to RQ, BC is equal to RQ, and AC is equal to P. It means A falls on P, B falls on R, and C falls on Q. So these are called the corresponding vertices, corresponding points. So three types of correspondence are there in a triangle, that is corresponding lines. So which are the equal line become the corresponding lines. Let's consider line AB is correspond. This is the sign of correspondence. Is correspond to line segment PR, BC that is correspond to RQ, and AC is correspond to PQ. So these are the three correspondence according to the lines of triangle. Now corresponding of angles. So here consider angle A that is equal to angle P is correspond to P. Angle B is correspond to angle R. Angle C is correspond to angle Q. So these are the three correspondence according to the angles. Now corresponding vertices means which vertices falls on which another vertices. So here A correspond to B, B correspond to R, and C correspond to Q. Now if you want to write the correspondence of triangle, here we write the corresponding line, corresponding angles, and corresponding vertices. And if you want to write the correspondence for these two triangles, then you can write ABC is correspond to A is correspond to B here, B is correspond to R, so R, and Q, C is correspond to Q. So this is the correspondence of these two triangles. ABC is correspond to PRQ. Clear? Now let's take one example. Example 1 that is given in your textbook. Triangle ABC and triangle PQ are congruent. Under the correspondence, ABC correspond to RQP. Means A is equal to R, B is equal to Q, and C is equal to P. If we draw a figure, let's consider this is triangle ABC and this is another triangle. So here A is correspond to R, so you can write R here. B is correspond to Q, so that is Q, and C is correspond to P. Clear? Now these two figures are congruent figures. So write the part of ABC that correspond to angle P. Now here we have angle P. That is correspond to what? Correspond to angle C. So you can write for first angle P is correspond to angle C. Now next angle Q. This is angle Q and that is correspond to B. You can find it from the figure. Q is correspond to B. So you can write angle B is correspond to angle Q. Or you can write angle Q is correspond to angle B. Now next third, that is line segment RP. Now R, it is here and that is correspond to A. Here R is correspond to A, so you need to write first letter A. Then P. Here P is at the last in this three letter R, Q, P, and C is the last in ABC, so you need to write C. Means P is correspond to C. You can also consider it from figure. So these are the three corresponding. You can write more correspondence according to the line segment, according to the vertices, and according to the